Everybody loves NERF Mega XL, and I like pistols. So what if you had a pistol that fires Mega XL? Oh my god, that was way too loud. But if you don't like Mega XL, how about 3 NERF Mega? That's right, an actual NERF Mega shotgun. Technically pistol. I just gotta stop doing that next to my ear. But of course, if you're boring, you can fire regular old NERF darts. Cut down, times 18. Gonna be doing this for a while. Seen any good movies lately? Read a good book? Play a good video game? Do anything fun over the weekend? Maybe eating a particularly good cheeseburger. Oh, we're ready. That's broken. Meet the Radson XL, standing for extra large, and Radson because it's just so rad, son. This blaster is a remix by Radioactive Arms of the Samson from Ruppernutter, which is a remix of the original Yeehaw by Captain Slug. And it is an obnoxiously huge pistol-sized blaster that, while it would holster very easily, is also basically a challenge because this prime one-handed is obnoxious. This particular one holds 18 short darts in 3 6-shot shotgun blasts. And as you can tell by the size of that plunger tube, it can do it.
It's not really about the size, it's the fact that they just keep darting about everywhere.
But these are 3 different designs of that exact same blaster, each one of them being absolutely precision engineered to do one thing specifically well: fire a foam dart. So right off the bat, this is not one pistol design that does everything, it is one pistol platform that you can adapt to different setups. And they all look pretty much identical except for the round they fire. These are of course 3D printed. If you want to pick one up, I'll have a link down to Radioactive Arms Etsy where you can buy one of these suckers. You've got an obnoxiously large plunger tube here, which is the largest plunger tube of any blaster I have, at least in terms of girth.
Girth?
What's more important, girth or length?
Both. Both is good.
You've got a spring right here, which looks to be K25 or K26 for McMaster car. You've got your hammer right here, that is how you prime your blaster. You've got a trigger right here, that is how you fire a foam dart after you prime your blaster. And you've got a grip right here with Radioactive Arms insignia on it, which also looks like something Duke Nukem would use. Hail to the king, baby.
It's time to chew grass.
And speaking of chewing bubblegum, these are of course pink and white because that is my favorite color scheme. And because of its hammer prime design, you can theoretically dual wield these pistols, which is terrifying because of how powerful they are. That being said, you're gonna have to have some obnoxiously large hands and amazing thumb strength to do that multiple times in a row. These are just insane, but they're also just insanely cool because this is a Mega XL dart. Now, if you remember the original big shot from Mega XL, that thing was gigantic. It was bigger than a Strife to fire one dart, and now we have this pistol that can fire it better than the big shot ever did. And that is really, really painfully loud if it's next to your ear. I gotta stop doing that. Not quite your thing? Well, here's 3 Mega darts, because you could fit that in the same frame that you would fit a Mega XL. So Radioactive has thought of everything. Now, if you have some kind of special objective in your game, or people use shields or something like that, typically there's some kind of rule that Mega XL or Mega will break shields and stuff like that. So this blaster is built almost specifically for that. So this is a true Mega shotgun. And those two are really nice, don't get me wrong, but 6 times 3 shots of short darts, meaning 18 projectiles. Now, it's not firing all 18 at once, which is honestly a good thing. This actually gives you 3 shots of 6 darts, as if that wasn't enough. And the best part about it is, it's frighteningly good at that. Pretty much anyone within 60 feet of you, downrange from this thing, is absolutely threatened by this. It's hard enough to get 6 whole darts downrange from one blaster shot as is. And most of the time, if you're doing that, you're using like either air-powered where you have to pump it up multiple times, or something far more physically larger than this. And worst of all, it technically does it with one hand. It's like getting punched from across the field. And you can technically dual wield this thing, especially the short dart version. Absolutely uncalled for. Now, while all of these are pretty much impossible to chronograph, Mega XL is a little bit too big for Freddy, and, well, shotgun and shotgun, I can still take it over to the indoor range and give you a good idea of the velocity and, of course, the spread. All right, well, I wish I could do the Kentucky Ballistics thing where when I don't want to chronograph something, I just obliterate my chronograph and go oopsie whoopsie. But this time he gave me an out because after the last Mega XL vid, it doesn't want anything to do with the big blue girth darts. So he just said something about maternity leave, and I'm not going to argue about that with him, so let's just fire some big darts. See what it does to one of the big targets. If I could hit one, I wonder how these sights are. That was frighteningly close. And why is the middle target not working? Oh, come on. I'm gonna do it. Sometimes those sights are dead on. Can I get a twofer? Oh, I was a little low. So elevation with no rear sights is gonna be an issue. Oh, it's so close. But can I nail one with a shotgun of Mega darts? These ones are the whirlwind tip darts, which are generally the best. A little bit higher. All right, well, because I know it will annoy Radioactive, I'm gonna try 3 half megas. There we go. And again, can I get a twofer? The whirlwind darts are almost too accurate. I wonder what they would do to those bottles. Those are pretty heavy duty gauge bottles. I'm gonna aim for the ones on the right. Oh, it just completely knocks it. Okay, all right. Honestly, I hate to say it, I think the 6 short darts 3 times is by far my favorite. These are all worn darts, but let's hope they give us a show. Starting with the target. How did I miss that? Seems like with worn darts, it's actually shooting like 7 darts per shot. That might have something to do with it. Let's try that again. I need to aim a little bit higher. There we go. There we go, and that was a really good shot. Of course, the performance is going to go up as there are less darts in the barrel. So the last shot is actually your strongest. Load that back up, 3 per cylinder. Use consistently newer darts that are a little bit tighter in each barrel and you'll get far better performance. Try the rival target. Missed most of the target. Let's try that again. Missed it again. Okay. And let's try the bottles up at the front. Oh, that was perfect. I'm off camera, but this is about double the range. Hopefully you can see this as I fire it. Let's give it a bit of an angle. That is so, one more time. Just one more time. So that was over 30 feet away. I think it's about 34 feet. That is ridiculous. If there is a person, they're tagged out. There is absolutely no escaping that. With a slight angle, anything within 60 feet is just done. All right, those bottles have got to go. Oh, I missed that last one completely. Shotgun! For being a 3D printed blaster, the print quality is really good. It's not perfect, there are some seam lines and stuff in places, but it's more than fine enough. Hardware quality is excellent, there's no sharp edges on the plunger tube or anything like that, and ergonomics wise, it is extremely comfortable. It's still a bit much for my small hands, but it is possible for me to reposition my hand to prime it one-handed. And of course, if you hold the hammer back and pull the trigger, you can deprime the blaster safely. But there are two main complaints I have about this entire platform, even though I think it is freaking amazing. One is I feel like with some really minor engineering, you could make one blaster just swap barrels and do all three things. These all use the exact same hardware and pretty much the same design of barrel with just a different hole in it for a different projectile. And while these are optimized pretty much to the max, something that Radioactive Arms painstakingly did, I really feel like there has to be some kind of threading or locking system that could allow you to just twist off a barrel and put on a new one, and that might be a little bit more palatable for the price, which is unfortunately the thing that I almost can't defend whatsoever on this. He told me that he expects these to sell between $110 and $130 shipped, depending on what you get. That also being said, you have to pay for somebody's time, and somebody did have to design this, painstakingly so, and assemble these and cut all the hardware and everything like that. And if you want what this is, that's the price you're gonna kinda have to pay. These have to be printed, the parts need to be cleaned up, the hardware needs to be cut, they need to be assembled.
I thought you told your mom to stop setting you up on playdates with other weird kids. This one looks worse than the Nerf Eater.
But I still feel like that price is a little bit much for what you get. But if you're somebody who has everything and has a specific need for something like these, it's not like they aren't one of the coolest things I've ever gotten my hands on. Especially the 6x3 option. This is practically overpowered. This is one of the best dart shotguns I have ever seen. It's in like the sweet spot in every category. Size-wise, it's practically perfect. You can dual wield it, although it's a little bit difficult, but wielding it two-handed is optimal. It is easy to reload. It is relatively quick to reload. The distance is good, the spread is good, and you get multiple shots before you have to reload. I wouldn't consider it primary worthy by any sense, because you're gonna have to load 18 rounds every 3 shots, which is a lot to ask for, especially when you're running around in a war. But if you had this thing on your hip, or better yet, 2 of them, this is one of the only times I would ever say you should dual wield a blaster, especially if you got big, meaty sausage fingers and large, strong hands. Yeah, you can wipe out entire squads with these things. And that alone may be worth the price of admission. I mean, Mega Shotgun's pretty cool if you have use for Mega, and a high velocity Mega XL that is surprisingly accurate for Mega XL. Pretty good. Unfortunately, I'm just super smitten with how good of a shotgun this thing makes. I mean, I like shotguns, that's kind of my vice, and this is a really, really good freaking shotgun. The Radson XL is, yeah, it is definitely rad. These are the 3 tusks of the Walrus. Think of the Digimon that had the horn and the Walrus tusks. But yeah, I need to figure out a way to carry all 3 of these on me.